What's up, everyone? Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's newest movie, just released on Netflix, so let's review it. Real quick, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling me what you thought of Army of the Dead. And this is going to be a spoiler-free review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you're free to watch this video. Anyways, let's get into the review. So this is Zack Snyder's newest zombie movie featuring Dave Bautista in the lead role, and essentially he has to do a heist in Las Vegas during a zombie apocalypse, and Las Vegas is kind of like closed off from the public because it's like the only place with zombies. So he has to go in there and like do a heist with a bank, and so essentially he hires a team of people to do it with him, and that's essentially the plot of the movie. If you're expecting some like epic, big picture, big idea Zack Snyder movie like 300, Man of Steel, that kind of stuff, you're gonna be disappointed. That's not what this movie is. But if you're looking for really just like a fun action zombie movie, you'll be quite happy with it. It's a lot of fun. Just don't go into it expecting these like big idea Zack Snyder movies that we're kind of used to. Just go into it looking to have a fun time. While it's definitely one of Snyder's less interesting movies, I really thought this movie was a blast to watch. The action in this movie is my favorite part, with Dave Bautista and his team that's with him shooting zombies in Las Vegas. That's just a ton of fun, really, and it's really directed well, where it looks really like visually pleasing to see these zombies get shot. And it's just, the action's really good. There's a lot of like montage scenes where they're like playing music, where you just get like 2 to 3 minutes of just zombie killing action. And that's just a ton of fun and an absolute blast to watch. And that really just never gets old, just watching, Dave Bautista shoot zombies in the head. It's a ton of, I love stuff. I love zombie movies. This is why I love zombie movies. This is what can be done with them. And Zack Snyder here just does that perfectly. And it's clear that he's really good at this zombie stuff, because that was a total blast. There's lots of awesome and intense action scenes that just really stand out in the movie, and they're littered throughout the movie. There's so many good ones that are really noteworthy in the movie, and they're always going to be a blast to watch. Like I said, I never get sick of watching zombies get their heads blown off. And the gore, there's quite a bit of gore in this movie actually, which is kind of surprised me a little bit with just how much gore there is. So if you're not into gore, be warned there. But there is plenty of it. I don't mind it at all. I thought it enhanced the movie, but it is definitely present. And really, as a fan of zombie movies, zombie movies have been one of my favorite subgenres within horror. Really since I was a kid, and I definitely enjoyed this movie. It definitely worked as a zombie movie, and within that subgenre, I think it's definitely going to stand out as one of the better ones, especially in recent years. Very, I would say, comparable to Zombieland in a lot of ways with its style. Also, I thought Dave Bautista really stood out here in the lead role. Obviously, he's more known for his comedy work, as Drax, and in the comedy movies he's been in. But really, as the action star, I thought he did a really good job, and he did have some drama elements in here that also worked. So really, I thought it was a pretty solid performance from Dave Bautista, and the rest of the cast was a ton of fun. I don't have any complaints about it. It was just, the whole cast was pretty much fun, was fun, and it was definitely, that enhanced the movie quite a bit. The plot of this movie was fine, with kind of like the generic heist idea. Like I said, it was very simple for like a Zack Snyder movie, which is completely fine to me. I personally don't really have a problem with it, but some people might if they're they're looking for like 300 or Man of Steel, a movie like that. But I enjoyed it for what it was. It's definitely a simple movie, but but it's just a fun time. I really can't stress that enough. That just go into it expecting to be entertained, because it really is an entertaining movie. The comedy is really present here, and it's pretty funny at times. It's even dramatic at times, and biggest part is the action's a ton of fun. And overall, it's just a really solid horror, zombie, comedy, action movie. It really mixes all those genres quite well. And so that's definitely where this movie's strengths are. However, I do have some weaknesses, have some complaints with the movie. My first and biggest complaint with the movie is it's just too long. There really isn't enough substance in this movie to really justify the 2.5-hour runtime, which is already long for a horror, zombie, action movie. This is the kind of movie that should be 90 minutes. It feels like it should be 90 minutes, but it runs for 2.5 hours, and just in the movie you can feel it just runs too long. There's just a number of scenes in the movie that just stand out, and just you're like, okay, this is going on way too long. And that's definitely a huge issue here for me, and it's definitely in the future it's going to hurt rewatchability for a movie like this that's really a lot of fun. It's some kind of movie you would rewatch a whole bunch, but the fact that it's 2.5 hours is definitely going to hurt that, and that's really unfortunate. I don't mind long movies at all. Just when you have a long runtime, you need to justify that. I don't think it's justified here. This is definitely a movie that should have been 2 hours or less, and I would have enjoyed it more if it was 2 hours or less. But the fact is, it's 2.5 hours, and it definitely runs a lot. There's a lot of long dialogue scenes that really run way longer than they need to, and that definitely hurts the movie quite a bit for me. it doesn't completely ruin the movie. It doesn't make any particular aspect of the movie bad. It just makes it kind of tiring in a way, because it just runs so long compared to where it should run, and it kind of pulls you out of the action when there's just, because much of the runtime is absorbed by these long dialogue scenes, like I mentioned. So that was really unfortunate for me. But it's not a major issue. It's definitely hurt my experience with it. My only other issue with this movie, and not really an issue, just kind of something I want to point out, is it's really a safe movie from Zack Snyder. It's worth noting that this is really his first movie coming off of Justice League, which obviously was a disaster, because Snyder Cut, it was made in 2017, kind of was made in 2021. But this is really his first movie since then, so maybe he wanted to do something safe after Justice League, which he technically directed, technically didn't direct, all the drama with Justice League, it. But so this was a very safe movie, so that may hurt your experience with the movie if you like Zack Snyder for his big ideas, because that's not really present here. But it's definitely, I enjoyed it for what it was. Definitely a small little safe movie. I had fun with it. Also, this movie visually had a lot of good shots. They didn't look as good because I was on Netflix. I'll complain about this every single time, but movies just don't look good on streaming services. That's just a fact. And there's a lot of really nice shots with Vegas just destroyed, and just these really nice zombie shots. And there's a lot of good stuff like that. The CGI is pretty solid here. And just as a zombie movie, visually it's one of the best ever. It looks amazing. And with what Zack Snyder is able to do here, definitely if you like Zack Snyder for his visuals, I think that's present here with his kind of his crazy kind of weird ideas with there's a zombie tiger in here, which is pretty cool. And that definitely, there's a lot of stuff like that in this movie that are really some really neat ideas that really enhance the zombie genre, as well as just some really nice visuals, pretty much throughout the entire movie. There's just really nice visuals, and within the action scenes, there's a nice helicopter scene at the end that just looks really nice, and there's just a lot of really kind of eye candy. It's really fun to look at, really pleasing, visually pleasing stuff in the movie, and that definitely enhances the movie quite a bit. But overall, I just thought this movie was pretty solid. Not the best movie ever, definitely not going to be anyone's favorite movie of the year, but just a really fun experience. And so far, it's one of the better movies of the year, definitely one of the funner movies of the year. It's really a blast to watch, and with really good action scenes and really good zombie killing scenes and likable and fun characters, and just a pretty solid plot. So I'm going to give Army of the Dead a 79% and 3.5 stars, kind of right in that middle range. Pretty good, just not great. Anyway, so that will do it for my review of Army of the Dead from Zack Snyder. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought of Army of the Dead. Did you like it? Did you not? I'm really interested to see what people think about this movie. So far, I've seen people seem to be divided on it. Some people seem to be disappointed by it. Some people seem to be pretty high on it. So that's definitely interesting. Anyways, that will do it for the video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.